This was the moment JJK took one of Hollywood's greatest movies of all time to create what could only be the most cinematic fight we've ever seen from this anime, trading off those insanely animated fights for a slower, more dramatic approach to action and cinematography that takes its time getting the viewer hooked on what's happening on screen. But how did JJK even achieve this level of Hollywood cinematography in the first place? Well, the number one reason is that it perfectly mirrored how the film gradually hypes up the impending bloodbath by setting up this intense standoff between the main character and the antagonists. And from a cinematography standpoint, this is crucial because it creates stakes to make the viewer understand just how tense and wired the protagonist must feel as they're fully surrounded by an army of sword-wielding assassins, because one wrong move could mean certain death. And both JJK and Kill Bill were able to show just how intense each of their standoffs were, since you can actually see and hear the antagonists' rumbling footsteps as they flood into the room to surround them, just for the camera to pan out and reveal how both main characters are completely outnumbered from all sides as they suddenly hit you with this slick camera shot of their sword's reflection to reinforce the danger they're in. All these bits of cinematography help ramp up the intensity of the impending fight. So right when the climax hits and everyone's anticipation is at its peak, oh shit, it's about to go down. And let me tell you, this entire fight from JJK is jam-packed with so many rich details and references that are just taken straight out of Kill Bill, which allowed the anime to really capture the film's highly stylized action. And one of the coolest examples of this would be when Maki caught one of the enemy's kunai mid-air and threw it right back at him, which just sent his ass flying. But that Kill Bill cinema magic is applied here when the frame purposely follows his movement, all while keeping his head exactly at the same spot within the frame, adding more visual variety to this action sequence. But the greatest example of JJK capturing that Kill Bill cinema magic is how they adopted the film's sheer brutality and built that into Maki's fight, which is shown by how the enemies are literally being sliced through like butter, while an absurd amount of blood comes gushing out of anyone who falls under Maki's blade. And how can we even forget this iconic Kill Bill reference from Maki's fight? Hell, it even plays the same damn sound effect. Just absolutely brutal, man. But it was during this very fight that JJK had finally captured what made Kill Bill cinematography so great. And it's the fact that a great fight is not created just from having badass action sequences, but rather how those action sequences are shown to the audience. Whether that means through creative camera shots that highlight a unique angle of the fight, or displaying an absurd amount of blood and violence to show just how dangerous the main character really is. These two things are what defines Kill Bill's highly stylized approach to action, and those same things are what inspired Maki's fight and why it's so different from any of the previous battles that we have seen from JJK. But you know what is the greatest achievement that JJK makes? Is how it takes all this inspiration from Kill Bill and uses it to hype you up for a jaw-dropping fight that shows the monstrous strength of Maki Zenin. And the anime is able to achieve this because of the sheer difference in abilities between Maki and the bride from Kill Bill. Although the bride is undeniably a master in martial arts and in wielding a katana, she is still human by all means. Therefore, she is not invincible in any way, meaning she can still get badly hurt from being punched or slashed by a sword, making her very vulnerable. And because of that vulnerability, fear is what fuels the bride's instincts. That feeling of doing whatever you can to stay alive makes her battles feel that more intense and the danger even more real. But just like the bride, Maki is also greatly skilled in martial arts and a master in wielding weapons. Except she actually is the definition of superhuman in terms of speed, strength, and toughness. She can literally speed blitz through enemies with ease, or tank curse techniques that can literally destroy an entire village. All this crazy shit she is able to do turns her into this unkillable monster who barely feels any danger around her. But the number one thing that makes Maki different from the bride is that fear isn't the emotion that fuels her instincts, it's rage. That feeling of wanting to wipe out an entire clan who wants you dead and who so happens to be responsible for killing your sister, the only piece of family that you actually cared about and who cared about you. All these emotions pushes Maki over the edge, giving her all the reason she needs to destroy the Zenin clan. No mercy, no holding back, just pure, relentless rage. And I think JJK outdid themselves to showcase all those emotions of Maki, all while using some of that Kill Bill cinema magic to capture her story. Absolute cinema, am I right?